Now seeing the crew saying farewell to one another, obviously wishing the departing crew soft landings as Yui, Kononenko, and Lindgren prepare to make their way through the hatchway, leaving Kjell, Kornienko, and Sergei Volkov behind as a three-man crew on board the International Space Station, but for a very brief period of time, just 4 days. And the hatch between Rosviet and the Soyuz vehicle closed at 9:32 a.m. Moscow time, 12:32 a.m. Houston time. Hatch closed at 12:32 a.m. Central Time, 9:32 a.m. Moscow time. Sergei Volkov in the field of view.
GSO confirmed.
Undocking confirmed at 12:49 and 44 seconds Moscow time, 3:49:44 Central Time. Expedition 45 heading home for a landing on the steppe of Kazakhstan.
Have a good stay. Don't miss us too much. We'll see you in March. Thank you. Thank you for working together. We'll be waiting for you as well. Docking plane is clear and I can see it very well. Understood. SSVP mode complete.
Sergei Volkov on board the International Space Station, wishing his fellow cosmonaut Oleg Kononenko a good journey home, saying we'll see you in March. That's when Volkov, Scott Kelly, and Mikhail Kornienko will come home. Again, undocking occurring at 3:49 and 44 seconds a.m. Central Time as the International Space Station passed over eastern Russia near the Chinese border.
How is Cygnus? It's large, yeah. We're on page 97. DPO ignition confirmed.
And we have confirmed that the separation burn has occurred. It was an 8-second burn. You can see a more rapid departure now for the Soyuz TMA-17M spacecraft. Very prominent at the center of the crosshairs are the two circular ultraflex solar arrays from the orbital ATK resupply ship, the Cygnus, the SS Geek Slayton II, that arrived at the International Space Station, where Lindgren grappled the spacecraft just 2 days ago. Now he's heading home, wrapping up 141 days in space along with his crewmates, a journey of 2,256 orbits spanning 59.6 million miles.
Page 98.
Yes.
Sending E1. Confirmed. E1 confirmed. Sending D8. Copy. D1 is off. D17 is off. S11 off. Take another look. Looking, Kimiya. Off. Send S18 and stay there. Confirmed.
A good view of the International Space Station as it and the Soyuz TMA-17M spacecraft pass over the Sea of Okhotsk, heading now from northwest to southeast on a track that will carry it across the North Pacific a short time from now.
Moscow Station, can I minimize the picture? Yes.
This is Mission Control Houston. We now have confirmation that the Soyuz TMA-17M spacecraft has landed. The search and recovery forces reporting from the landing site that the Soyuz was found on its side, not unusual for a windy landing condition. The words up on the front screen here in the Mission Control Center, Jest Posadka, they've landed. Video now being received from the landing site to the northeast of Jezkazgan. A good view of Kimiya Yui, who's being hoisted in his reclining chair. He'll be placed in an all-terrain vehicle to be driven to one of the helicopters that has arrived at the landing site. We are also told that Oleg Kononenko was removed from the Soyuz capsule, Kjell Lindgren to be removed next. Extraction of the crew is in progress, with Kononenko and Yui having been extracted, and Kjell Lindgren now in the process of being extracted as well. And a good view of Kjell Lindgren, having returned from space 141 days on his first mission. Just 2 days ago, he was at the controls at the robotics workstation in the cupola of the International Space Station using the Canadarm2 robotic arm to grapple the orbital ATK Cygnus resupply vehicle. And 48 hours later, he's back on Earth with his crewmates, Oleg Kononenko and Kimiya Yui, looking hale and hearty. They will be loaded into helicopters for about a 35-minute or so flight to Jezkazgan, where they will wind up ultimately being flown in a NASA Gulfstream jet. That would be Lindgren and Yui back to Houston. The third crew member, the Soyuz commander, Oleg Kononenko, having completed his third flight into space in 533 days aggregate total, to be flown back to Chkalovsky Airfield near Star City, the Gagarin Cosmonaut Training Center Air Base and Training Center. He will be flown back to be reunited with his family at his home there. Travel and everything.
Все хорошо. Сатурацию будем мерить? Давайте. Второй замер не будем делать? Вот я тут. Sweetheart, how are you doing?
A good view of Kjell Lindgren at the landing site. He is talking on a satellite phone, presumably to his family back in Houston. That's typical and commonplace. The landing site is floodlit, but there will be no erection of a medical tent on this particular evening, since the landing occurred under rather harsh conditions with thick overcast. The search and recovery forces deploying only 4 helicopters to the landing site and several all-terrain vehicles. Oleg Kononenko and Kimiya Yui already having been placed inside all-terrain vehicles to move to respective helicopters nearby. This is the first post-sunset landing for a Soyuz vehicle in International Space Station history, the 6th night landing overall, the last one occurring an hour before sunrise back in November 2012 when the Expedition 33 crew brought its mission to an end, Sonny Williams, Yuri Malenchenko, and Aki Hoshide. Now Lindgren being lifted to be carried to an all-terrain vehicle and a short ride to a nearby helicopter to begin the flight back to Jezkazgan.